of wildlife experts found a quite exceptional exemplar of a female artist. We have never seen an artist in this unusual position. Normally, they move fast. They eat fast. And they paint fast. But this female raises many questions for our team of experts. After further research, we found out that this wasn't an individual case at all. All over the globe, we discovered thousands and thousands of exhausted artists. During the past few weeks, I came to the conclusion that I built up my art business in a way that made me pretty exhausted and that I needed to change something, or I could quickly burn out or even start to hate what I love to do, which is painting. And luckily, I came across this book, Rest: Why You Get More Done When You Work Less. It's blowing my mind and it's completely changing the way I see creative work. And it planted the convincing into my heart that I don't need to choose between becoming successful and living a happy and healthy life, that I also can just enjoy. And that I actually can become successful by slowing down. Let me explain to you why. When I decided to give my dream of becoming an artist a last chance, it wasn't under the easiest circumstances. We had a 2-year-old toddler and a 4-month-old baby, totally lacked time and sleep. When I started my Etsy shop, I used to work on the weekends and in the evenings when my husband came home and could take care of our daughters. Maybe you can imagine that this was a pretty exhausting lifestyle, but I wanted to become an artist so badly that I just kept on going. And it completely paid off. In 2020, I started to earn our full family income with selling commissions. So my husband and I decided to split work and childcare, and he went into working part-time. It was so amazing for a while, but slowly it started to become emotionally very stressful for me. And honestly, it was too much pressure for me that now I had to make money with art. I made a good income, but still it was so unpredictable, and just a few days without getting a new commission freaked me out. Because of that, we ended this experiment after 1 year, and my husband went back to working full-time. But instead of slowing down and going into a more relaxed work mode, I turned it up and started to work like a crazy person. Somehow I wasn't able anymore to just enjoy life. I put all my energy and efforts into my work and never really switched off. Even when my girls came home from kindergarten, it was hard for me to give them the attention they needed because I always kept my mind and myself busy with creative work. My life became like a never-ending to-do list, and meeting friends and family, caring for myself, enjoying life became something that I always moved into the future. A huge turning point for me was as we went on a weekend trip to the ocean in October. For the first time in 2.5 years, I put my shop in holiday mode. And immediately it was like a huge burden fell off. Suddenly I realized how exhausted I really was because I never gave myself a break. From putting myself under a lot of pressure and stressing and worrying about building a successful art career, my mental health was in a bad situation. And sadly, I didn't even enjoy painting anymore. So there I was, full of regret that my creativity had suffered from overworking and that I had neglected my health and my well-being. And the worst was that I totally had neglected the relationship to the people I love. It became clear to me that many sacrifices I made in order to make my Etsy shop successful weren't worth it. In the long run, making money with doing commissions wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be. and I decided to keep my shop closed till the end of last year. I started to paint just for myself again, which brought me so much joy, and I quickly came to the belief that what would really fulfill me as an artist was not doing commissions, but having my own art show one day and selling large paintings to a very high price. As I focused on my new goal, very soon I started to become restless again, and all my good resolutions to put health and relationships over my art career were gone. I painted like crazy, like someone was chasing me. I always felt behind, trying to catch up with all the other people on Instagram who seem to manage their lives and creative work and businesses so easily. No matter how hard I tried, I wasn't measuring up to my own expectations. And I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't know what it was and how to fix it. But then I came across this video.
The first insight is the distinction between shallow success and deep success. Deep success is the real stuff. It's the connection to other people, it's growth, it's self-love, it's love for other people, you know, the stuff that we're actually meant to be chasing. Shallow success, on the other hand, is money, it's power, it's recognition, fame, it's attention. All the stuff that we're not meant to be chasing, but it feels kind of good when we do for a little bit. It's like a sugar hit and you get it and then you crash. Yeah, that.
This video was like an eye-opener for me. The whole time I was chasing the wrong thing because I thought reaching some shallow success somewhere in the future would finally fulfill me. But I wasn't focused on the things that brought me deep joy, like having meaningful and strong relationships and being there for each other. Deep inside my heart, there is this longing to be seen and to be loved for who I am. And gaining some recognition as an artist would be fun and exciting, but won't make people love me more. I decided to slow down in order to prioritize relationships and health. But at the same time, it felt like saying goodbye to my bigger dreams of becoming a successful artist. Because growing up in our Western culture, there was this strong belief that I could only make it if I was willing to work hard and put my work above all else. But the funny thing was that the more I slowed down and left the pressure behind, the more my creativity went up. The joy of creating came back to me, and I felt so free and like a little kid again, ready to explore and experiment. And suddenly a thought just gripped me. I thought, if working as a creative, my creativity is my biggest asset and slowing down seems to enhance my creativity, what if I can become a successful artist by slowing down? This thought got me super excited, and I became even more excited as I came across this video that seemed to confirm what I was thinking.
I'm really enjoying this daily routine. Of anybody that I've done so far, this is the most comfortable routine of them all. It absolutely 100% prioritizes rest and having lots of time and space for thinking and creativity. So I just recently finished an amazing audiobook called Rest by Alex Soojung-Kim Pang, who explores all of these super high performing people throughout history and their habits and how they went about living their lives. And there's this common through line of rest. Highly successful people in the arts and sciences are disciplined, like very disciplined about their rest.
I immediately got this book, and the more I'm reading, the more I get convinced that my idea could be true, and what sounded impossible and maybe foolish at the beginning becomes more and more logical for me. This book shows that throughout history there were so many successful writers, artists and scientists who only work 4 to 5 hours a day and took the rest of the day for going on walks, taking naps and meeting friends. Let me read you something. Only in recent history has working hard signaled pride rather than shame. With a few notable exceptions, today's leaders treat stress and overwork as a badge of honor. In our hustle culture, it seems like if you're not busy all the time, you are lazy and waste your life. And it is so easy to feel behind if you don't post every day, or to feel guilty when you just do nothing but enjoying your life. We are constantly hearing, if you want to become successful, you need to work harder, become more productive, produce more content, get up at 5, never stop, never sleep, never rest. But I don't believe that anymore. I'm not a machine that is always on its highest performance level, and I don't want to live like one. I believe there is a better and much healthier way to build up a successful art business. I am very grateful for the technology we have. As a teenager, I could only dream of things like Etsy or Instagram that makes it so much easier to become a self-taught artist. But I don't want to become a slave of these platforms. Instagram, for example, announced that they are no longer a photo sharing app.
And I want to start by saying we're no longer a photo sharing app.
So you need to produce reels in order to get pushed by Insta's algorithm. But creating reels takes so much time that you could use for making more meaningful and long-lasting things. Most of the time, reels just bring such a little value to others. Mostly they just entertain you and keep you on Instagram for hours without even recognizing it. The day I discovered Reels for myself, I scrolled through it for 2 hours and I felt so miserable after that, so I don't want to support it. I don't want to flood the internet with superficial content, but to create something of value. And that takes time. That doesn't mean I don't post Reels, but I want to be mindful about what I do and definitely not get pushed into something. I also don't want to paint fast and half-heartedly in order to be able to post more. I want to make art that really means something to me and I enjoy doing as much as the final product. It's such a relief for me now to take the time and not rushing myself through the process. This also applies to YouTube. I used to stress myself so much about uploading weekly because this is what everybody tells you you need to do if you want to build up a successful channel. And I was so scared to miss an upload. But this winter I was really tired and exhausted and my kids were sick over and over again. So I decided to let go and upload a new video whenever it was finished. And the unexpected happened. After this decision, I only uploaded these 2 videos in December. Until then, my most popular video had about 50 views and I got around 10 subscribers per month. These 2 videos somehow got recommended by YouTube and each one got over 2,000 views. And they got me almost 500 subscribers in December. And I'm so happy about that. So welcome to my channel, all you new people and everybody. So instead of harming my channel with the decision to upload less videos, it was like a breakthrough for me. And I think it's because I had more time to think about what to say, to make these little sketches and to focus on the quality of the video instead of just getting it out there on time. I already see that slowing down pays off, and I'm so curious to experiment more with this idea of enhancing my creativity by living a life of rest. That's why I decided to leave this stressful hustle culture behind in order to find my own way, to make a clean cut, keep my Etsy shop closed, and start my career all over again. I want to find a path to success where I don't sacrifice my happiness, my health, or relationships. And I want to become a successful artist. But at the same time, I want to have a life that is worth living every day. And I have a very good feeling about my new experiment, but time will tell. So if you're curious how it will work out, of course, you are invited to follow me on my journey. And I also would love to hear your thoughts about what I just said. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.